Oh, YouTube, this William. I was out here about lunchtime, just taking a break, and thought maybe I'd whittle on a stick and just kind of. I'm testing out a couple new designs. If you're on my social media, you saw this um, field lower, which is a nod to the Ray Mears wood lower. It's not a clone, but it's a lot of difference. It's got my handle on it. Don't even have his handle. It's got a Scandi with a tooth going into. The only thing that looks like his, that's similar to his, is the tip. I like the tip, but everything else about it I didn't like, and I've owned a couple of his. But that part right there I thought was ingenious. I thought that that was a great design, kind of a cross between a worn clip and a drop point, if you will. But I think that is a great craft knife or craft tip. I'm not a big fan of all Scandi. As I've said in many videos, Scandi is good for one thing in wood. That's it. That's the only thing that Scandi is good for. Other than that, and splitting apart things, it's a wedge. The problem is, and I'll demonstrate it here, is, and I've showed this in many videos, the angle you have to get to the actual cutting edge is so steep that it wants to bite into the wood, and it'll hog off some wood. Man, it will destroy a piece of wood. Problem is, if you want to do finesse carving or finesse feathers and things like that, you need something that you can lay the knife down a little bit and get over that that secondary bevel right here that holds you off of the wood, and get something a little thinner on the back side of your edge so that you can lay the blade down and get real fine curls. And let's see if I can show on the camera here what I'm talking about. So if I take it, and I'm going to show you how this hook will work. If I can pull up here, and if you can see how it wants to just hog off some wood, because that's the angle of where the edge meets the wood. Okay, that's as far down as you can lay it, otherwise it'll just skip off. Okay, but if you got a saber grind, even though this bevel is the same, the cutting bevel is the same, it doesn't have this steep angle here. It has a relief on the shoulders. It's thinner behind the edge, if you will. I hope I'm making sense. But you can lay that blade down and get real fine. See how fine you can get those curls? But when you try it on the Scandi, it just wants to bite in. See, it hogs off some wood. Now that's what a Scandi is good for. It's good for that. But if you want to do finesse work, and then you're gonna have to get a different grind, and that's why I like the idea of multi grinds and compound grinds. But anyway, that's what I was doing out here. I'm just playing around with a couple of new prototypes, and I did this tri-stick the other day with this Fieldlore, and this is A. I think we're going to stick with A. Tell you what, I really enjoyed this knife, and it's 1/8 inch steel. I thought the 5/32 that Ray Mears did was a little too thick for a what he was. It's not really a survival knife, although if you were careful with it, you could use it in a last ditch effort. A survival knife is kind of a term that's thrown around a little bit too much. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to survive. It's whether it's a survival knife or not. If you're trying to survive the apocalypse, you probably want a big knife that'll reach out there and get them. But if you're in the woods and you're just trying to build a fire or a shelter, then something like this would be plenty. But if you had the skill to back it up. But anyway, I mean, I love this knife. Somebody asked me about the handles. Was I getting away from the Coke bottle handles? No, I'm not. I think the Coke bottle handles is very versatile for the larger knives. That's so you can get back here on that thing, and you got something to hold on to use that as like a leeku with speed for chopping actions, and also it keeps it in your hand. It's a secure grip. Whereas some of the smaller knives, you don't need that. So I think that as far as task and heavy use, I think that's a more comfortable handle. which is not a broom handle. It's kind of a cross between the Kephart design and a broom handle, because here you have another rounded portion and it has a relief for your little pinky. So I don't know what handle that would be. Maybe a bird's head handle, maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, I find that on the smaller knives is probably it's more comfortable to use long term than the big Coke bottle handles. But anyway, so yeah, I think that this blade is like 4 1/4, something like that. It's the same length as Ramir's Woodlore, and I hope he don't mind me I'm not trying to improve it by any means, because I mean, what he made and for what his uses are, it's a perfect knife. But for my uses, I much prefer a multi-grind, and those are the reasons. It's just more versatile. I mean, for slicing vegetables, processing game, a Scandi processing game or skinning game is not the best in the world. Will it get the job done? Yeah, it'll get the job done. A lot of things will get the job done, but is it the optimum tool? No, in my experience, it's not. But anyway, with that, I really think that right there is, I think that is a phenomenal design right there. So we'll release this one probably in a few months. It'll be a spring build, 2023 build, but we'll release the first runs for pre-order probably before Christmas. Okay, so, but this is the other one. This is the new Task Master, which is a worn clip, has a real fine point, and has that tooth. All my knives now has had that tooth. It's just so beneficial, even when you're doing pull cuts. I mean, it's just talking about a craft knife, but this right here is a craft knife and a half. I think this design here is replacing my Master Craftsman, to be honest. But I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I like that straight point right there. See the straight part? It and that real fine point. You can get in there and do those fine whittling. Do the eyes. Stick that point in there. And because it is such a fine point, you have to be really careful or you'll break it off. And so you get in there and do those real eyes and that detail carving and stuff. I mean, if that's something that you're interested in. But not only that, I mean, it's just sometimes you need a fine point. You may need to dig a splinter out or something. But as far as a detail knife, I think that is phenomenal. And a lot of people don't know it, but that's actually a good skinning point as well. Because I mean, just the angle of that worn clip, and you're coming up against a razor's edge, straight edge there. So all utility knives have that point, if you'll notice them, and that's because it's utilitarian. You can get in there and get that real fine point and get those precise cuts and things. But this one is it's taking the place of my Master Craftsman. It really is. And this is Model A, and I don't know if anything that I would change at this point. And I've been using it for, I don't know, a week or two. And so anyway, I thought I would share that. And basically, when I do R&D, I have others. I have a Master Trapper too that I've been playing around with for a couple of months, and I think it's to the point to where we're going to send it to a couple of people that I know that actually is actual trappers, and we're going to get some field test run on it. Since I don't trap, I think that it's to the point now to where I think it's ready. So we'll get that one in field trials. And it may be a spring release. I don't know. It depends on how the field trials progress. But I think we're on I'm on prototype C at this point, just for me playing around and adjusting designs and things like that. But anyway, I mean, new models and innovation is constant. I mean, as I explained in another video, why there's always additional models, is to keep things fresh, and that's what I enjoy doing. This is what I enjoy doing. Standing behind a grinder is not what I enjoy. This is what I enjoy, is developing new designs and tweaking them and get them to the point to where I think that they're a better performer than what's on the market. So anyway, Task Master, and I think the blade on it's about 3.5. So it's just a great little neck knife. It really is. Whittles flawlessly. Talking about going through 9-ounce leather. It's just like a razor knife. It really is at that point. That's what it is, a razor knife, but you also have the Scandi and the tooth there for other tasks. More versatile. And the handle is just the right size. Again, it has that new bird's head pommel with that Kephart pinch right there, so that you can grab it up there and get that detail work. Yeah, liking that. But this Fieldlore, I'm going to release this one here pretty quick. You know, like I said, before Christmas, for pre-orders. But anyway, we're going to do the next release after the Sportsman, the Master Sportsman, which is available for pre-order now on my website. If you go to my website, wcknives.com, and go to the right hand corner, click on those 3 hashes, a menu will drop down, and go to Shop Knives, and there will be a listing for the Master Sportsman. I think the 19th is the last day that you can buy that or pre-order that, and those will be fabricated in late November, early December. Okay, so those will be out before Christmas. So you still have a few days left on that, but be sure and get in on that deal. And after that, we'll probably release the Field Boss and the Master Outdoorsman. We'll release those as a combo. Then after that, we'll go with the Fieldlore and then the Taskmaster. We may. It depends on how things come together and whether I think they're ready to release. And I think this one's 99% ready to release. This one's 100. I think this is the design here. So anyway, yeah, just taking a lunch break and whittling on a stick. I thank you guys for each and everything you guys do for WC Knives. You guys are just phenomenal. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Until the next one, you guys get in the backyard, whittle on a stick. Try to do a tri-stick. It'll tell you all the positive things and the negative things about your knife or knife skills, one of the two. But yeah, it's just a few little notches and the pot hangers there, and just all kinds of little cabinet latch, bark stripper. You know, and this is, if you don't know what a tri-stick is, then just look it up on Google. I think Morris Kahansky is the one that started that to teach knife skills, which is a great, it's phenomenal way to test a knife and see what its benefits are, and teach knife skills and all that good stuff. It's also relaxing. So until the next one, you guys get in the backyard, whittle on a stick, and be sure to take a child with you, get the opportunity. Don't forget those painting band-aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again very soon.